Hi everyone and welcome back to Chef's Eats. Today we're going to be making prosciutto and melon salad. This is a classic antipasto, great for the summertime with the saltiness of the prosciutto and the freshness of the melon. Just makes it perfect for those hot summer nights. Once again, like always guys, only thing we're going to need are a few simple ingredients. So let's get started. First I'd like to start trimming up our melons. This right here is a Goya melon. Traditionally this dish serves cantaloupe or melon dew or honeydew, but I was at the Korean market and saw these and wanted to have a little fun with it. It also has fantastic flavor and it's in season right now. So after cutting it in half, let's just simply discard the seeds. Using a spoon will help us scoop this out. And just simply spin around and scoop it out just like any other melon. As you can see here, I'm using a bowl just to help catch the seeds. It's also going to help this area stay nice and clean when we're working. Let's move on to the second half. Same thing, scooping around and just scrape out the inside. It's actually quite easy with the spoon. Makes this process go really quickly. Now we can move on to our other melon. This is a Korean yellow melon. It's going to have a little bit more of a firmer texture to it, but also still quite sweet when it's really ripe. It's going to give this dish a little bit more of a crunch. So once again, grabbing our bowl, scoop in, and this guy's going to be a little bit firmer, so you might have to give it a touch more muscle. And then simply scooping it out. There we go, now we're all getting the hang of it. All comes out quite easily. Now to remove the skin from the flesh, I just like to simply cut them into long wedges. Also being very cautious of our index finger here. This is just to guide it. Now after doing this, just very gently and carefully run your knife on the bottom and remove the flesh from the skin. This can be a little tricky at first, so please take your time. There we go. One at a time, no rush here. Once again, simply just lie it down and slide that knife right on through, being very careful. After we finish that entire melon, let's just go back to the Goya melon and repeat this same exact step. The skin of this melon is going to be a little bit thinner, so it's actually going to make it a bit more easier to cut. So as we can see, line it down and sliding the knife just on the very bottom. Please notice the amount of caution that's going on at this step. Nice and gentle. Now at this part, this is just me being picky and wanting to make everything nice and clean. So we're just going to trim up the edges here. It's just going to make it really fun for a presentation, and it's going to help make the plate a little more artistic. And all these scraps, well, you know what we're going to do with those? We're going to save those for our snacks. So here's a closer up demo. Just simply slide the knife close to the edge and create a nice little segment. There we go. Here's one more. And we can move back to the Korean melon and do the same exact process. I realize that these melons here have a little bit more crunch to them. They're still sweet, but they have a funner texture. So I'm going to trim them down a little bit more. You guys can do the same with your cantaloupes or melon dew. And of course it wouldn't be the same without our herbs. Simply picking a few mint leaves and then a few basil leaves. You see this basil? It might look a little different too. Well, that's because it is. This is Thai basil. It's going to add a little bit more of a fruity flavor. Some people say the flavor reminds them as Fruit Loops. That's what it got me as. So I just think that this will also enhance the flavor opposed to the traditional basil. But mind you, if you have cantaloupe and melon dew, feel free to use traditional basil. What we have here is a very small shallot. The only thing we need to do is trim both ends up, cut it in half, and peel it really quickly. We're going to turn this into a very fine slice, just to assist in the garnishing of the flavor of the dish. So, right in half, spin it to the side, and nice fine slice. Here we are. After I get it sliced up, I actually like to spread them apart with my fingers. This is going to help ensure that when we distribute it through the dish, it'll go nice and evenly. Now that we've finished all of our knife work, it's time to start marinating our melons. Simply tossing them in a mixing bowl and scattering a few of these sliced shallots right across it. You can use as much or as little as this as you like. A few pine nuts as well. It's going to add a really nice nuttiness and crunch to the texture of the dish. Followed with our fresh picked mint. Notice how I like to tear it? There you go. This is going to prevent bruising. Also, it releases more aromatic flavor to the dish. Just the ripping of it. Then our Thai basil. Mind you, if you can't find Thai basil, just use normal regular basil. It's completely fine. They're both fantastic flavors. And a good dousing of some high quality olive oil. Some fresh lemon zest. This tool that I'm using is called a microplane. I highly suggest that you purchase one. It just makes zesting and getting the flavors out of citruses so much more enjoyable. Now the only thing we need to do is add a little bit of seasoning. Some salt, some pepper, and there we have it. The only thing left for us to do is give this bad boy a little mix and allow it to marinate for about 10 minutes. Let all these flavors infuse. Mind you, that's optional. You can eat it right now if you like. Sure, everything's mixed and evenly distributed. That's just going to gain so much flavor. All this melon, mint, basil, pine nuts, shallots, just ready for the prosciutto. Let's plate up. A little bit of melon here, a little bit of melon there. Let's have fun with this plate. Let's enjoy it when we're plating and, try to make it a little artistic. We always eat with our eyes. After the melon, we can put a few slices of prosciutto, all scattered throughout the plate. Nice and evenly distributed. Of course, and again, just wherever you like to put it, have fun with your plate when you're creating this. Then a light sprinkle of a few more of the sliced shallots. Mind you, use as much of this as you like. Some people are sensitive to shallots. Personally, I really enjoy them. A little bit more of the pine nuts for the nutty flavor and a beautiful texture. A few more sprinkles of this lovely olive oil which we have. Touch more of our lemon zest. Just going to really lighten this dish up again. And once again, our basil and mint leaves. Just toss them wherever, let it fall natural. And there we have it, folks. Prosciutto and melon salad, the perfect antipasto for the summertime. Once again, I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and hopefully you really enjoy making this as well. Here's the recipe as following, and please fill me in if you did any changes and just how everything turned out for you. I'm really excited to hear about it. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.